Every year we have the obligatory jokes that we come here to walk Camino, and that everybody gets on the electronic walkway coming out of the airport. Well, buen Camino pilgrims, I have just arrived in Madrid just a couple of hours ago. Took the train into the Atocha station. I'm going to be taking a train on the from the Atocha station to Logrono in about an hour or two. So I have not been to this south side of Retiro Park. So I am looking, just checking out some of the south side of Retiro Park, and killing a little bit of time before I have to make my way over to the train station. So anyway, I won't say much about what's happening in what I've seen in Spain so far, just because I haven't been here long enough to really say much about sort of the general situation with COVID and everything. But I will say that the train station, or the airports and everything, I did have to, of course, I did the Spanish health check-in app, so definitely do that. So I did that before I left home. I will say that I never got the app to work on my phone finally. I ended up doing the online, or just on the website, and that worked fine, and they sent me a QR code via email, and also to my Apple Wallet, because I have a Mac that I did the form on. So it worked fine, but the app, for some reason, every time I'd get to the end and I'd hit finished, and it just wouldn't go through at all. So I don't know what's going on there, but lots of people have had the app work. So when I checked in Indianapolis, then they just wanted to see that I had that QR code. They just looked at it, they didn't scan it or anything, to make sure that I had the QR code. And then all of our travel, of course, you have to wear your mask in all of the airport facilities, except for just briefly for eating and drinking. But they're pretty stringent about the mask, particularly when we got on the plane from Miami to Spain, where mostly it was Spanish residents. In fact, I didn't see any other Americans on that flight, which is very unusual for me. Usually when I'm flying from anywhere in the United States to Madrid, you'll see plenty of Americans, but I don't know if it's because of COVID regulations or what it is, but I just didn't see hardly anybody from America, any American passports in people's hands or anything like that, or anybody really speaking English even. But they were much more stringent about the mask even on that plane, and reiterated it multiple times and stuff. So I didn't have any problems getting through the airport and everything. Then when I got to customs, we did normal customs procedures, and then there was a second booth set up just after customs, which checked our health data and made sure that we had the form and all that kind of stuff. So it was very simple. Especially as mine, they just scanned it and walked right through. They didn't really even say anything. I did see some folks from other countries that are getting stopped and temperature checks and stuff like that. So I think everybody has a little bit different regulations. So that's been my experience so far. I'm gonna walk around Retiro for a bit, and then make my way back down to Atocha for my train. I have arrived on Camino de Santiago. Really excited about that. I had a long travel, of course, like many of you would know. I went through from Indianapolis to Miami, and then Miami to Madrid. Took train from Madrid to Logrono. That took a couple of trains to get there. Everything went smoothly, and it was great. Let me see if I get out of the image. You can see the Church of Santa Maria. Santa Maria is the church here in Logrono. Beautiful building. I'm in the square outside of, I'm in the square in Logrono. This isn't far from the municipal albergue in Logrono, and I'm staying at an albergue near there. So I'm going to start walking from Logrono tomorrow, and
I have a kind of a long day tomorrow. I think it's 28 kilometers tomorrow. That's somewhat out of necessity. I think there's only like 2 stops out of Logrono on the entire day. So you kind of have to go a long day tomorrow. And the weather is not going to be too bad tomorrow, so I'm not too worried about that 28 kilometer day. But then I'm going to walk for 11 days. I don't really have a stopping point. I would love to be able to get to Lyon, but that would be 300 kilometers in like 11 days, and that's not how I'm going to do Caminos.
And that is exactly what I ended up doing. I'll tell you more about that as kind of the videos go along, but I wanted to go ahead and jump in here for a second because I wanted to give you some information about my travel home and how the COVID restrictions went on that, because I know that some of you that have clicked on this video, that's really what you're looking to find out about. Before I do that, let me just tell you I'm going to be putting the rest of these videos together, releasing one a week so that you can follow along with me on the little short section of Camino that I walked this year. If you'd like to see more of those videos, please click on the subscribe button so that you'll get notifications when those come through. And certainly I appreciate it. It's a great favor to me if you would click the like button. That'll send these videos out to others so that they'll see them as well. The biggest thing I would say about the travel home as an American is that when I got to Lyon, it was quite difficult for me to find a place to do the COVID test there in Lyon. I visited several places, walked to some, called some. It's very difficult for me to get the test actually scheduled. I did realize that to get a test in the airport in Madrid, which there are tests available in the airport in Madrid, that needed to be scheduled weeks in advance. I think they didn't have appointments for very, very long. So if you want to get your test, your COVID test back to the United States in the airport in Madrid, make sure that you schedule that far in advance at the Madrid airport. I did not. I ended up kind of walking around and finding, it took me several hours finally to find a place that could do the test. They agreed to do it that afternoon. I walked in, the test took less than 5 minutes, and I was walking out the door, and before I even got to the train station, I was walking directly from there to the train station. Before I even got there, they had already emailed me my test results. So that part of it finally worked very smoothly, but it was difficult for me to find a place to get the test taken. For me, on my airline, I believe I flew American Airlines on the way back. They had an app where I was able to submit those documents. I submitted them through the app. They approved the documents, and then I just showed that code to the airline whenever I checked in, and everything was pretty smooth as far as getting through the process, the actual paperwork process, getting home. So I didn't find the process cumbersome, at least right now, as of when I came home, and it's still true when this video is being released in the 1st of August, is that to travel from Spain to the United States, regardless of vaccination status, requires that you have a negative COVID test, and the rapid tests are acceptable for that purpose. So I was able to get that rapid test and get back pretty easily. I hope that you will enjoy these blog style videos. I am not primarily a vlogger, but I hope that I'll be able to tell the story well for you of my pilgrimage, and also be able to maybe do a little bit of training and teaching along the way. So I hope that you'll enjoy these videos and come back often. Buen Camino.